From Cedar Park, Texas, live from Alzer's Barbecue at the corner of Lakeline. Oh, Lord have mercy, we're over here at Cypress Creek in 183A, people. Not A. We're doing it on 183, the old one. Jeez, we're gonna stumble through it, Bowman. You got me all hot and nervous over here. But again, this is the Willard of Oz here for Timberwolf Night in America. This is the final installment of this season of Timberwolf Night in America, the 152nd episode of Timberwolf Night in America. So I am joined by none other than the most interesting broadcaster in the world. Sharks have a week dedicated to him. Once a rattlesnake bit him, and after 5 days of excruciating pain, the snake finally died. He is the cooler side of the pillow. It is the Brad Cone.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, that snake bite was a heck of a deal. I think he got some lymphoma from me, and that just knocked him off.
Yeah. That snake didn't stand a chance against the Via the T. But again, we're going to have the trainers in the house tonight as we wrap up this season of Timberwolf Night in America. And we'll recap last week's game. We'll also got some season-ending stats that Brad's printed out for us that we'll go over. And just kind of wrap the season up after Cedar Park fell to A&M Consolidated in the third round of the playoffs. And God,
another how did that happen kind of thing
yes.
with A&M Consolidated.
And we're outstatting them in all categories.
Every category.
And so just still a great season from the boys. Coming last year from 4-7, they finished 9-4.
Yeah,
9-4, going 3 rounds deep. So I think an overall success of the season. But we want to thank this year's sponsors as well for the program, and those are Alzer's Barbecue, Mungia Real Estate, Raising Cane's, Toscano Italian Kitchen, Rudy's Barbecue, Sewell, Reap Financial, Firehouse Subs, Taco Palenque, Reap Financial, and I did that times 2. I do that every time. That's good. And Army Ant Moving. So thank you guys.
They must have bought more time than the others.
Yeah, multiple commercials. But again, the Timberwolves, we lost a coin flip for the where we were going to play the game against A&M Consolidated, and since they came here, we ended up going on the road to play at their stadium, and I had to sit behind you guys the whole time.
Yeah, Deerblind Stadium.
Yeah, not the biggest press box, but that's okay. Still, it was fun to have the crew up there for one final hoorah, as Brad is going to be retiring from the broadcasting aspect of it, but he's still going to be involved. He'll still be around.
Yeah.
So that excited to still have you around up there in the press box for the home games, doing the PA work, and then coming over for halftime stats and stuff. But I mean, getting into the game, I don't know if you have the consolidated stats by chance.
I didn't bring them. No.
Perfect. It just seemed like Cedar Park just couldn't finish any drives. We weren't finishing at any points. Defense was giving us some opportunities there.
And we would rack up yardage and first down. We just couldn't close them out with points.
And it was really difficult when you lose your starting wide receiver on the first catch that he goes down. He gets a low screen, turns his ankle, and so the 3 number 1 receivers that Cedar Park has, none of them on the field. So a lot of young cats had to step up, which is very promising for the future.
And they did, because actually our 13 games this year, guess which game he threw for the most yardage in? That one. So, I mean, they were still getting it done. Had lots of first down. We had like 9 more first downs than them, almost 100 more yards of total offense than them. So, even without the receivers that had been threats to defenses all year long, those guys stepped up and got it done.
Yeah, you don't want to say, like looking back, and you should have had that game, but I think both times you played A&M Consolidated should have had those.
Yeah. This one was a little different kind of mystery than the first couple. Who gives up 2 touchdown kickoff returns? No, we do. They had 2 offensive possessions where none of their plays gained any yards except the long touchdown run.
Yeah, that was.
How does that happen?
And that was just so uncharacteristic of Cedar Park. And I mean, you have those nights, but Cedar Park was peaking at the right time as they went into the playoffs, and getting that nice, an emphatic win over Angleton in the second round. I just didn't think that special teams was going to be the reason.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to be it, but just hats off to everybody, all the seniors in particular. Just every night at Timberwolf Night in America, when we would interview the position groups, we just heard each position group, how the seniors, were great leaders. They were like another coach on the field for most of these guys. Not scared to put the younger guys on game and teaching them what's going on. So it's promising to know that tradition is still here at Cedar Park.
And you could see that in them when they were on our show.
Yeah.
How articulate they were, how confident they were. Yeah.
So again, we're going to have the trainers in the house tonight. Coach Bowman is joining us. We'll get to them in just a minute. So A&M Consolidated went on past Cedar Park to go to the fourth round, the regional finals, where they fell to Smithson Valley.
At the GUP.
At the GUP. Oh, man, that stinks. And so pretty much all of our representatives are out. And I think really the only schools that are left, it's Westlake. I think Liberty Hill is still in it.
Yeah, they are.
And so some good football for sure in the area. Lake Travis and Westlake faced off last week in the playoffs, and Lake Travis was the fourth representative of their district.
Yeah, they finished fourth in their district.
Man, drained the lake, both of them.
Weird.
I'm okay with that. So again, a great season for Coach Q, a winning season, 9-2. What were you in?
9-4 with a 6-game winning streak in there.
7-3 in the regular season.
Yes.
Perfect. I mean, those two wins against Cedar Ridge and Round Rock that we should have had last year too.
Right. Turn those around.
We had a lot of one-possession games, and this team just got dirty. Going back to that Hendrickson game at the field.
The overtime game, yeah.
And that guy, the running back, Workman, had over 200 yards rushing but couldn't get in on a two-point conversion to win the game. That was some grit from the Cedar Park Timberwolf defense for sure. So, Brad, you got any interesting stats for us?
Well, first let's go over our all-time record now since the season's over. It's pretty impressive. All-time, we are 222-88. That's like 22-3 for every 35 games. All-time district record, this is even better, 118-39. That's a forever record at New Bible, 15-3, both as our home venue and as a visiting.
Old Testament and the New Testament. All-time
record at the GUP, 70-10. All-time record in LISD's 3 new stadiums, so you count Vandy's, 87-16. All-time record versus other LISD teams, 41-10.
That's incredible.
That's incredible. All-time record versus 6A teams, while we're playing them as a 5A team, 28-13.
Wow.
Most impressive. All-time playoff record, 45-18. All-time record versus top 10 teams, 25-17. All-time record as a top 10 team, 94-17.
Backing up though, that playoff record, it was 45-18. Mm-hmm. And how many playoff runs did we have before the Chris Ross era? It was that one regional finals team.
2. 01 and 04, and then Ross came in 5.
God, so most of those coming in.
Yeah.
From
we
the
didn't
Ross
win
era.
in 01.
Right.
We went 3-2 under Weaver till before Ross came here. And then the last one, all-time record as the number 1 ranked team, 21-1.
Who did we lose to? Abilene Cooper?
You and I did that game on the road.
Lorenzo Joe.
That's
an all-namer for sure.
That's pretty impressive. And then we also have some of the, I know people, dads and so forth, have asked me about these numbers, so we'll give them to you guys. Here's everybody's yardage total on the year. Trey Hill had 1,434 yards rushing, a 5.07 average, 20 touchdowns, 110.3 a game, and he was basically it. Arp had most of the rest of the carries for 394 yards, a 4.86 average, only 30 yards a game, and 8 touchdowns. Everybody else was pretty much negligible. It was mainly those two. In fact, they had 364 of the total 423 carries on the year were those two guys.
Back in my day, we were running the ball with 13 different cats.
Every game.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, we'd have 13 guys all have 35 yards rushing and a touchdown.
And I never had one.
It was never you. We look at Arp. It's talked about his 286 passing in the last game was the most of the season. He also had a 266 also against College Station, 263 against A&M Consolidated the first time. So those were his 3 highest passing totals. We lost all games. But because we're having to pass because we're behind.
Playing from behind.
Right. The rushing totals weren't good in those games. And then we look for, his total. He threw for 2,810, 20 touchdowns, 7 picks, 6.9 yards per attempt, which is his best. Last year it was almost down in the 4s. Yards per game about 216. Completion percentage 60.7. Look at our receivers. Suber was the leader with 820 on 60 catches for 9 touchdowns. 63 yards a game, a 13.7 average per catch. Carter Wohl had 541, 2 touchdowns, a 9.3 average per catch. Gavin Chapa didn't get to finish the season, really. He had a 460 on 35 catches, 13.1 average. No touchdowns for Gavin. That's hard to believe.
I mean, it was just remarkable. Him, the junior year when we went to A&M Consolidated, he had that great touchdown grab and a Superman diving catch. I mean, I think everybody just watched him on film, and that was the guy that they were going to key in on. They didn't know he had a Suber and a Wohl.
Yeah, and a Pecci. He had 19 catches for 250. 4 of those 19 catches were for touchdowns. Hill caught 22 for 191. Zane Claybrook, who's really come on late, 14 for 145 and a touchdown. And a lot of other people with 7 catches or less, but we'll read their names because a lot of them come back. Caden Morris, Ethan Ludke, Bowen Trappis, Noah Wallace, Nicholas Brown, Tyler Wynn, Luca Wilson, Hudson Cuevas, and Reed Vines.
Yeah, but, I mean, do you have the totals then on each game? Like
I do.
Because the Consolidated, name those young cats that stepped up.
For this last game?
Yeah.
Let's see, we had 6 guys catch passes. Suber caught the one that took him out on. Trey Hill caught 2. Zane caught 7 for 109.
Yeah.
Then we had Ludke 1 for 16. Bowen Travis 7 for 47. Noah Wallace 8 for 34. So really you're looking at Claybrook, Travis, and Wallace with 22 catches for 155 yards.
I mean, and I feel like of the balls that were thrown to them, I don't think they had a drop. I think they were bringing everything that came their way. I mean, for that was Bowen Travis, I think you said, that had 7 receptions. That's incredible from, not getting as much work as he did all season and having to come on in the 3rd round of the playoffs. That's definitely answering the call when your number is called. So there is a lot to look forward to about the Cedar Park program, but these seniors are definitely going to be missed. At all 3 phases on both sides of the ball. You first come to mind on the defensive side. I mean, that defensive line, Grayson Alex. And then right behind him at middle linebacker, Reed Vines. I mean, he's had a decorated Cedar Park career going back to his sophomore year. I think he actually played as a freshman on varsity.
In a couple plays, I think.
Yep. So it's sad to see them go, but then again, you get Trey Hill having 1,400 yards from scrimmage. Coming back, you got a young receiving core that's going to be mature and go through a good offseason. I think things are looking good for the Cedar Park program, especially just building off of this success. And I think getting last year's taste out of the mouth and everybody taking a collective jump from last season, that's just so promising for this program, I think.
Looking at the defensive numbers, the only really thing that stands out, I guess there's 2 things that stands out, and unfortunately they're both kind of negatives based on how the defense has done in previous years. One is we only had 17 sacks all year for only 75 yards lost. We had 5 games, including this last one, when there were no sacks. 5 games, there was only 1 sack. So in 10 games, we only had 5 sacks. All the others came in a couple of games. We also had... Unfortunately, we've been in around the 48% mark when we look at number of opponent snaps that go for 1, 0, or negative yardage for years. It's been right around 48. It's down to 40.9% this year, so not as good in that stat. We also, though, had our only time ever this happened. Garrett Nichols scooped a bad extra point snap for an 86-yard 2-point run. We've never had that happen before. That was pretty cool.
Scoregami.
Yeah, that's right.
Good stuff right there. So Cedar Park, we'll dive into what they're up to right now with the trainers in the house. We'll go ahead and cut to a quick commercial break. And again, we're here at Alzer's Barbecue. You got time. They close at 8 o'clock, so come get some Q and hang out with us. This is the Willard of Oz, Brad Cohn, the V of the T, and we'll be right back after this.
You know the Alzer family. They've been involved in Cedar Park sports for years, just as Alzer's Barbecue has been involved in Cedar Park cuisine for years. It's one-of-a-kind, authentic Texas barbecue. Brisket, turkey, chicken, lamb, terrific sides and sauces. It's sheer succulence. That's Alzer's Barbecue, next to the CVS on Cypress Creek Road, just west of Old 183.
Reap Financial is proud to join you in support of Cedar Park football. Go Timberwolves! It's Chris Herline here, and teamwork is the key to success in football and in life. Lessons learned and memories made on the gridiron stay with us for a lifetime. And working with a trusted financial team can help grow and protect your assets today and continue your legacy for generations to come. Reap Financial, serving our Austin community for 15 years. Visit us at reapfinancial.com.
Hey Cedar Park, looking to make a big move? You don't need a Hail Mary when you've got Mungia Real Estate on your team. As proud sponsors of the Cedar Park football team, we're not just invested in the game, we're invested in our community. We specialize in residential real estate, guiding you through the entire process to find the perfect home. Whether buying or selling, you can trust the local experts. Score a winning deal with Mungia Real Estate today. Call us at 512-922-4267 or visit moongiarealestate.com. Mungia Real Estate, where your home team plays.
Hey high schoolers, are you interested in a career in sports media? Vype can help. Launched in 2017, our Vype U Ambassador Program is a one-of-a-kind educational scholarship program that offers high school students a chance to gain hands-on experience in the sports media field. Vype U also gives students a platform to build their portfolio of creative work under the guidance of Vype's seasoned professionals. From covering games to publishing photos, writing articles, and conducting on-camera interviews, each Vype U ambassador receives an immersive experience geared toward their interests, while promoting their own school and preparing them for their future. Email info@vypemedia.com to find out more about Vype U today.
Army Ant Moving calls Cedar Park home for movers that residents and businesses can rely on for outstanding moving expertise and trustworthy estimates. Army Ant Moving stands above the rest. Their reputation speaks for itself. They've received the Angie's List Superior Service Award for the last 2 years. Their movers are highly trained and experienced. So whether you need to move your household to a new home across town or an entire corporate office to a new location, your valuables are in knowledgeable and reliable hands with Army Ant Moving Company. Check them out at armyantmoving.com.
Well, Brad, I got a good stupid is stupid does for you this week, and it goes to the college football playoff committee.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear I didn't hear anything negative against the Horns since they did get the third playoff spot. They honored their road win early in the season against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Stupid is a stupid does, or for anybody that say the Horns shouldn't deserve it. Why do we play the games then?
I haven't heard many people except one guy from Florida say that.
Well, and it's just like that.
Everybody knows that it was between Florida and Alabama.
And that's why Sark, I like him being aggressive in the non-conference scheduling those games, and you get to see where your team's at, but it pays dividends.
Oh yeah,
down the line.
That's the way to do it. That's the way we've done it at Cedar Park.
And it stinks for Florida State. Don't get me wrong, but anybody else that might have anything negative to say about the Horns being in, I'm sorry. Oh, we got over Jenny, but stupid is as stupid does.
Stupid is as stupid does. The committee was going to have to do, they're forced to do by circumstances, one of two things that they found repugnant. It was repugnant to reject a team that's an undefeated conference champion. The other choice was it was repugnant to them to make sure there was no SEC teams in. They didn't want to do that either.
Well, and I think that...
And they just kind of... chose the wrong one, I think.
I think they chose the wrong one still, too, because Florida State, being undefeated ACC champion, Alabama was a 4th and 31 away from being a 2-loss team.
Sure.
So that
but they're SEC. We can't not have an SEC team, man.
It's a TV program.
Yeah.
They're creating good drama.
Yeah.
And I loved the face of all the Michigan Wolverines when they saw that they drew Alabama in the first game. Oh God. So that's going to be fun to watch, and definitely hoping the Horns make a deep run and hopefully get a rematch.
I like our chances. My wife pointed out the other day, guess what happened last time Texas played Ohio State? Texas won. Guess what happened the last time Texas played Michigan? Texas won. Guess what happened the last time Texas played Georgia? Texas won. Guess what happened the last time Texas played Alabama? Texas won. It just keeps going and going. The one in the mix that they didn't win was just last year. They didn't beat Washington in the
Right.
Alamo Bowl, and that's who they got to face.
And that's good. I mean, Sark has got his head coaching career started over at Washington, so he's got a lot of nostalgia. And then just that matchup last year in the Alamo Bowl. That's crazy, going from the Alamo Bowl to the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
Both of them. So joining us now is Coach David Bowman. Thank you for joining us and bringing all your trainers out. Excellent. Let's see, go ahead a little bit closer on that mic.
So let me ask you, David.
All right.
How many times has somebody tried to compare you to the commander of Discovery in 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Yeah, there's not a lot of people that remember that movie anymore.
You and I are about the oldest ones around.
Yeah, I think it's gone the way of the dodo now.
My mind is going, Dave.
Those old turns have gone. I don't think there's a lot of people that remember stuff like that.
And so, Coach, you're one of the few lucky ones to have been here since the beginning.
Yep. So it's been fun. How many years is it? 20?
Since 98.
So yeah, we've been there since
Quarter of a century.
25?
I once
25
figured
years.
out.
Is the 25th anniversary this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think so.
I once figured out, and this is still true, Bowman and I and the
Coach
golf
Williams.
coach, Jerry Williams, the only three guys still doing what we did for Cedar Park Athletics the day the school opened.
Yep. Yeah, and there's only like 2 or 3 teachers left.
Wow.
So there's an elite group.
Yeah. So talk about this training group and, kind of what the season has brought for you guys as it now comes to an end, but y'all still are going now with other sports.
Yeah, most of them have already started their second sport, so they'll go soccer, and that's kind of what happens after football season. We gain, basketball, soccer, and wrestling. So we don't get to stop.
Is there chess pieces with that, or do they get to pick the sport?
They start by picking the sport, and then if there's too many picking one sport, then we have to move them to other ones. So
is there a sport that's the favorite in the winter sports?
for some reason it's boys basketball. I
Oh, really?
No offense to Coach Brown and them, but I don't understand why. That's the most popular one.
Yeah.
So,
Somehow it must be an easier job.
I don't know. I mean, it's just
They're
surprising.
indoors, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, nobody really goes for the soccer.
Yeah.
The soccer's the one we have to usually appoint somebody.
I had a girl in soccer, and I couldn't imagine. They play in such cold weather. I can't imagine being a trainer waiting for something to happen, stand on the sideline that cold.
And now it's not just taping ankles. I mean, there's a lot that goes on Friday nights, and we get there to start setting up our gear. They're next door, getting all the communications ready for the coaches in their booth. I mean, kind of talk about their game days, what goes into that.
So every game we play away. I mean, home or away, we're still away. I mean, Upton's down the road. We're not like Vista, which you get to go across the street kind of thing. But we basically have to pack an entire locker room and put it on the road. And so we do the communications. So the headsets you see on the coaching staff, that's put all together by a student. That's not put up by me anymore. This is the first time a Bowman wasn't putting it together.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
When my daughter graduated, so that was it. That was the last Bowman to put the headsets together. So, and then we basically have to take a whole locker room and everything. I mean, if something happens, we have to be able to handle anything.
Yeah. Probably the funniest thing was the second game of the season when we went on the road to Vandegrift.
Second game, yeah.
And was it our side that had the better Bowman?
Yes.
Oh, my
That
gosh.
was brought up by Coach Austin, not by me.
That was hilarious.
And yes, the better Bowman did win. I don't have a choice, so she did win the game. So she rules the roost for the year. So
That's so funny. So, Brad, what you got?
Your training room back there has some specialized equipment. I know there's a whirlpool. What other specialized equipment do you have, and how often is that stuff utilized?
A game ready.
In there doing stuff through the day.
well, we've upgraded the game ready to what's called a Thermex.
Ooh.
And so this year we had one donated, and that was a pretty good deal. If you get the program, we had it donated this year, so we put them in our little spot with
Cool.
our pitcher, and that was pretty impressive to get that kind of a unit donated, and that's pretty much what's taken over the Whirlpool. I mean, we don't necessarily. I mean, it can do a hot and cold treatment at the same time. It runs like an antifreeze type thing. I mean, you fill it up with an alcohol base.
Is it like the cryo chamber thing?
It's more of a an extremity version of that. It can bring it down to about 34 degrees.
Wow.
And then go up to about 105. So it's a tool we've been using a lot this year. I mean, we've been pasting players together for a whole year almost. I feel like every time I was turning around, someone was coming off with something.
And so, of the group, how many seniors are there?
I only have one.
Wow.
Yeah,
Got a lot of returners.
I have one senior. I have no juniors.
Oh.
Then I go sophomores and freshmen.
Wow.
So this is.
We'll find out which is which here in a minute.
We've had an elite. It was an elite 7.
Is there a sales pitch you do to the incoming freshmen? How do you drum up business per se?
We try. We do have a deal with the school when they bring kids up and let you see the organizations, but it's just word of mouth basically for us. I mean, we try real hard, but nobody wants to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's an interesting caveat.
Yeah, they get up. They're up there. If they're upperclassmen, which those are just I only have 4 of them. They were up there at 4:45, and then underclassmen get there at 5 a.m. So
over a decade since I did that, and I still find myself a morning person. I can't stop waking up early.
Yeah.
Yep.
One more question before we have you designate which one of them is going to come over first, and that is, are your 2 golfing sons back from Nebraska?
Yes, they are back.
What are they up to these days?
They're playing golf. But one's working at Balcones Country Club, and the other one works at Terra Vista Golf Course.
Good for them.
Shout out Charles.
Getting to do it.
Charles and William. So.
Well, we appreciate you coming on.
I remember
David,
when they were little babies.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh, yeah.
Cutest little babies you've ever saw. I'll go way back with Coach Bowman. I missed my entire junior year with a broken arm, so anytime Efren would get in the whirlpool, I would try to stick my arm in the whirlpool too. Yeah, we got kicked out of the training room a lot. Those were the days.
Yes, it's a bigger training room than it was when you were probably there too.
Y'all remodeled?
Yeah.
Dadgum, I need to come.
Get an upgrade.
I need to come check it out. Well, we'll go ahead and start passing them around. If you want
whoever you want to go first, David.
So Scarlett's going to be my only senior. So
okay, we'll start with the
nice.
senior.
Only one senior?
Only one senior.
Got a lot coming back, and we'll make sure that Mike is.
You must rule the
roost. A little bit closer.
Scarlett, right? Scarlett, what's your last name?
Dennis.
Scarlett Dennis. So you must rule the roost. It's the only senior. I guess you can crack a whip and they'll wash your car and all that stuff. Do whatever you want, right?
Sonic runs.
Oh.
No.
So
that's kind of more like Bowman. Bowman tells me what to tell them, and I just tell them.
You're a delegator.
Yeah.
That's good. We need those.
So as senior, you're the one that gets blamed that things go wrong, though, huh?
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah. That's how that works.
So which sport are you in now that football's over?
I'm in baseball, but that's not until February.
Perfect.
So I have a while.
Did you do any? You did football duties too, though, didn't everybody works football, right?
Yes. Yes.
What was your duty in football?
I had a lot of duties. I made sure that the sideline was set up. I ran out on the field with Bowman if there was injuries. I was in the tent with Dr. Rodriguez, and if he needed anything, I was there. I was like a little personal assistant, pretty much.
So what got you into this realm? What sparked the interest?
I want to be a doctor.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty sweet.
So, kind of the closest thing.
That's a good place to start in high school, yeah.
Yeah.
You did good for being a doctor. I showed her my broken arm picture before we started.
Oh, yeah.
And she didn't think it was bad, so that's good.
No, it looked cool. It was like a little
Looked cool. Do it again.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Not right now.
Good on that. So that's cool. So then being a senior, going to try to do this at the next level, or?
No, I'm going to try to go into the ER.
Whoa. Dang. So who inspired you to do that? Or get into that?
Well, I've always wanted to be a doctor ever since I was little, and I cannot stay still, so I thought that the ER would be just like a great fast-paced environment.
Oh, yeah.
That is one heck of an
Do you
environment.
like to watch, what's it called, Untold Stories of the ER? Do you like to watch that one? I do, too. My grandkids love that show.
I do.
Guy with a nail coming out of his eye. And
Oh,
they go,
come on,
cool.
Bradford.
Okay, maybe that's not the episode I would bring up right now.
So, if you could give advice to the younger classmen, what would you give them about being a trainer at Cedar Park?
don't take things personally because we're all teenage girls. So everything that we say is taken to heart, but you cannot do that.
Right.
Because we yell at each other at football games, and then we all cry about it. And we just can't be doing that.
That's wonderful advice.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Great
saying.
advice.
Come on now. Camaraderie.
I was a coach of a state championship girls club soccer team that my daughter was on. I coached that team for 5 years, and that's something they taught us in coaching school, specific about teaching girls. Is the personal aspect of it. Camaraderie is different between girls than it is between boys, and all that. We had to learn that ourselves too.
I'm a girl dad, so I'm with you now. I can understand that.
Yeah, Bowman had to learn too.
So, of the training staff, who's the last one ready on the football field in the mornings?
I'm going to say it's Fiona.
Okay, that was a pretty much unanimous.
Fiona. Remember that name. We'll have her on here in a minute. Fiona.
You can state your case over here.
No, she goes in and she puts on like 8 layers in the morning, and it takes her 30 minutes.
Well, that would be me.
I don't do cold.
I don't do cold.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I can't stand it either, but like, come prepared to practice.
Shots fired.
just saying for next year.
So, as someone who wants to be a doctor, have you thought about a specialty or just be a GP? What are you thinking?
Yeah, GP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a desired school that you want to be at?
I'm going to do, well, I already know my plan. I'm going to go to ACC and then transfer to UT.
Hook 'em horns.
And then just go up from there.
Yeah, I went to school for 7 years. I'm not a doctor.
Oh.
So.
What took 7 years?
Don't even play one on TV.
Yeah, no, trust me. Furthest thing from it. So yeah, eat 'em up, go Cats go. It's just a good time. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, Scarlett. Any final questions, Brad?
Well, I was going to ask also, from the point of view of someone who wants to be a doctor, what's the most challenging course you're taking at CPHS?
At the moment, I'm not taking anything challenging because it's
Ah!
my senior year, and I was like, I'm not doing
I
that.
love the confidence that statement implies.
But I think my hardest one would be medical terminology because of the memorization. And
Duodenum. Yeah.
Yeah. What he said.
Yeah.
Very cool. So do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
No.
There you go.
Heard. And then if you want to pick the next victim.
Yeah, go ahead and pick the next one.
Is it you next? Okay.
Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us. That was fun. You're going to be a doctor.
I know.
We asked that question if everybody comes on the show, and that's one of the better answers we got.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Okay, your name and your class and all that stuff.
My name's Karina Soto, and I'm a sophomore.
Karina Soto?
Yes.
S-O-T-O?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Sophomore?
Kind of going along the same lines, what got you interested in being a trainer?
My friend in 8th grade, she kind of brought up athletic training, and I was like, hey, that sounds fun. I'm going to give that a shot.
Yeah.
What about it sounds fun to you?
Being able to be slightly apart, like medical field-wise, definitely something I've wanted to do for a while, and I think that's a great opportunity to start with.
Important role that helps people out.
Yeah.
Right. So are you from the Cedar Park community?
I'm not. I moved here from Chicago, Illinois.
Whoa.
In
The Windy City?
5th grade.
I would have too.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what has been your favorite moment about being a Timberwolf so far?
Definitely the big football community. We don't really have that up there, so here football's a really serious thing, and I absolutely love it.
I came here from growing up in elementary school age in northern Indiana, not far from Chicago, and then in Kansas for junior high. I moved down here about when high school started. I went to my first game down here, and I could not believe that. I mean, our biggest high school games in Kansas were smaller deals than the 7th and 8th grade games here. And it took me a long time to get used to that.
Oh, yeah.
So of the training staff, who would you say is the best karaoke singer?
Definitely Lucy. She's not here right now, but she is always singing.
Lucy. All right.
Excellent. And so you're a sophomore, not really thinking about college as much, but is there a route you're trying to go?
Anywhere in the medical field right now.
Wow. 2 people in a row who want to be in the medical field.
Starting off doing the right things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you got 2 more years at Cedar Park High. Are you going to keep coming back and doing this? Is this fun enough to bring you back?
This is something I want to go through.
Good.
So did you do freshman year as well? So what was your sport last year that you did other than football?
I had girls basketball.
And this year, what do you have?
I have baseball.
Turn up. There we go. The seam heads.
How many girls are doing baseball?
2 of us. It's
Just the two of
me
you?
and Scarlett,
Just
yeah.
the two of us.
I'll see you there. I'll be broadcasting all of our baseball games. So.
Perfect.
Awesome. Any shout-outs you'd like to give tonight?
Um,
We got to go more than Scarlett. Got to give even the girls, like, just shout out to the
the
crew.
girls, Bowman,
Bowman.
Bowman.
Yeah.
Lucy. She's not here, but Lucy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and
course.
excited to have you back for a couple more years.
All right, Miss Soto.
Soto. Alrighty. So, name and what class?
I'm Reagan. I'm a sophomore.
Whoops. There we go. Reagan.
Sophomore.
Sophomore. What's your last name, Reagan?
Burns.
Reagan Burns.
Related to Mr. Burns,
Yeah, that's her dad.
The Simpsons.
Oh.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, perfect. So, what got you interested in training? Have you been doing it since freshman year?
Yeah, I did it last year. I've just always wanted to do something like sports medicine, so I decided sports med was a good idea.
And what prompted you to say, I want to do something in sports medicine? You know somebody else who did it, or?
My brothers were in football when they went to Cedar Park, so...
What year did they graduate?
Well, one of them just graduated, and then the other one transferred.
Ah.
What's your favorite course during school right now? Which one gives you the
Probably
biggest
world
buzz?
history.
Oh, I
Coach
like that.
Perkins.
Me too.
Yeah.
Who teaches it?
Coach Perkins.
Coach Perkins.
My brother taught that class for a little bit, and he had everybody stand up and say their name and where they're from, and this girl said a country, and my brother's like, man, where's that at? And he was the pre-AP world geography teacher. That was not a good start for Brad.
Where's that?
Yeah. So of the group, who's the comedic relief? Who's the comedian?
Who's the comedian?
You
it
can say
really-
yourself.
No, it depends on my mood.
Okay, perfect.
Depends on my mood. But Bowman's funny.
That's
Except
true.
when he's not funny.
That's
Sometimes
good.
he's not funny. Sometimes he's just Bowman.
I know what that is. I know what that is.
Every
You were a
comedian has
football
good
player.
shows and bad shows. You know, it's just, that's the way it goes.
Awesome. So, any shout-outs that you would like to give?
No.
We're going hard nose on the
Yeah,
shout-outs.
I mean, you don't have like a mom or a dad or some guy you like or something like that, and then say hi to.
Nope.
All right. That's a no
All right.
for, but that's all good.
Reagan Burns, sophomore, coming back, Reagan?
For next year?
Yes.
All right.
Woohoo.
Still
Oh, what's your
fun,
other
still
sport
fun.
right now?
Oh, boys basketball.
Okay.
Hoop. There it is.
I'll see you there, too.
Yeah, at the Timberdome.
All right. Yep.
All
right.
righty. Up next.
Who's next, Reagan?
Oh, yeah. So, name and what class?
I'm Kristen Kirk, and I'm a freshman.
Kristen Kirk.
So, what got you interested in sports medicine?
I don't know. I just thought it was going to be a fun program to try, I guess.
Were you right?
Yeah.
Did they tell you about the practices in the morning beforehand? Okay, good.
Yeah, I
Glad
know.
we're briefing them and not telling them the day of.
What's your favorite part of doing this?
Probably the games, the Friday night games, yeah.
Night games?
Game.
What other sport are you doing?
Oh, softball.
Softball.
Very cool. Very cool. So, have you been a part of a injury so far this season that you got to help out and kind of like be there to help? A helper thing.
Not really, but like I've gone on the field before sometimes.
Yeah. I don't think there was... this team this year for Cedar Park, there was not as many injuries as in years past. Oh, it's
Yeah.
already over. It's already
I know,
over.
I'm knocking
It's
for
already
next
over.
year. I'm knocking for next year.
But, like, I mean, Coach Bowman can remember John Hatzel. And he had his foot completely turned around in practice. We ended practice after that. That one was nasty.
And he was no longer the kicker.
And he was... I hear ya. So, what is your favorite course at Cedar Park?
I don't really know.
We're still figuring that out. Yeah, we're still learning the ropes. You haven't even done your second semester yet as a freshman. Yeah.
So, do you ever claim to be a far early ancestor of Captain James T. Kirk?
That was awesome, Brad.
I'm thinking no.
No, I don't know
I'm
who
thinking
he
no.
is.
Captain Kirk.
There you go.
It's from Star Trek. Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah. Awesome. So, do you have any siblings in Cedar Park, or?
I have a little sister at the middle school.
Are you going to train her and get her on board with becoming an athletic trainer, one of Bowman's fearless?
I don't think she would ever want to do that.
I hear you. So,
but, I know you're just a freshman, and so there's plenty of time, but have you given a thought to what you're going to do after high school?
Probably start my own business.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, in what kind of field?
That's a really good question. For
Doesn't
later.
matter as long as it's hers.
As long as business can be done. Yeah. You will find Miss Kirk there. That's awesome.
Got a school, a college, a university that you're interested in targeting?
No.
Where'd your folks go?
My dad went to Columbia University.
Wow. That's a good
Travis Rhyme.
That's a good one, yeah.
Travis Rhyme went there.
Got a guy who played football there from Cedar Park. What about your mom?
I have no clue where she went. She went somewhere, though.
That's good. Somewhere is good.
So who on this crew of trainers is the best dancer?
Ooh.
The best dancer? Fiona.
Fiona.
Or Nora.
Fiona or...
Is that like you're throwing an X? Oh! They're having a dance battle over there. I swear it's about to pop up. It's like a flash mob. Very cool. So any shout-outs that you would like to give? Apparently you can do none.
Then none.
No, don't take the bait. Okay, you know what? There you go. There you have it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And are you going to be... so second sport right now you're doing?
Softball.
Softball, that's right. And then going to come back for next season?
For sure.
Yes.
All right, good.
Good job, Bowman.
Bowman's not scaring them off. Yeah.
The retention rate is through the roof.
I like it.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks.
They need to get the credit. All righty.
All right.
So
name and class.
My name's Nora Gett. I'm a freshman.
Nora, what was the last name?
Gett.
Gett, like G-E-T-T?
So G-O-E-T-T.
G-O-E-T-T. German name.
Oh, see, that would have thrown me for a loop. That's the hardest thing about broadcasting is saying the names. I'm just awful at it. So very cool. So what got you interested in becoming an athletic trainer?
I thought it would be just a fun experience, fun idea. I hadn't really heard about it before, so I was like, why not try it out?
And so did you do it with, like, any of your friends, or is this something you kind of embarked on your own journey?
I just did this by myself. I didn't really know anyone else who was going into it.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I think about the trainers that we had. It was Coulter Covey, Scott Wood. I mean, they were on the bus with us. I mean, it was fun to have them on the team. I mean, so being a part of the team, and y'all play a big role. Have you mastered the ankle tape?
So yeah, I know how to tape ankles.
I think I can remember it. You start up top and then down low, and then I had my ankles taped a lot.
Let's ask this. We should have thought to ask everybody this. What is your best talent or skill as a trainer out there?
Ooh.
What are you best at?
Good question.
Well, I'm off the field for a majority of games. I work locker room, so I set up water over there. I make sure they have everything pre-game that they need done. So that's mostly my job, so I'm probably best
The
at
organization.
that.
Organizing, yeah. Coordinating. Now I'm going to ask the other end of that question. What do you need to improve the most?
Ooh. Be vulnerable.
Probably getting everything done over there a little bit faster, because it takes a long time to get everything done over there.
Yeah, I bet there's a little bit of pressure to get it done quickly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So favorite moment this past season?
Probably going to the far, away games, the buses, and, the charters. It's fun.
God, that game to Waller was awesome. We blew him Angleton out in the second round. That was
That
sweet.
was a lot of fun.
That was a fun game. So then, what's your favorite course right now at Cedar Park?
Probably my English class. I like that class a lot. I like a lot of the people in that class. My teacher's fun. It's a fun class, I think.
And it's our language. I was not the best writer. Nah. That's cool. So, down the road for sure, but have you thought about college or any of those?
I want to go to UT and pursue, physical therapy, that area. Yeah.
Class of 29?
83.
Oh, 83, same thing. Sorry.
1983.
Yeah, there you go. I still think 30 years ago is 1970.
Yeah.
That's just me. So, any shout-outs that you would like to give?
I don't have any, no.
God, okay.
Can't believe these girls don't know anybody.
Yeah, the girls. You just got to shout out your team. And your second sport right now is
I'm girls basketball right
girls basketball.
All right. All y'all doing basketball, I'll see you up there. I'm the announcer for the basketball games, too, so come up and say hi.
I bring my daughter to the girls' games. She enjoys it.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And who do we have next? Fiona, the tardy one.
She's the dancer, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Can we have her dance before she sits down?
Do you know how to do the wobble? No. Okay, that's a good one. So name and class.
I'm Fiona, and I'm the class of 2027.
2027. Do the math. You do the math.
I'm a freshman.
Thank you so much. I was not going to have to figure that out. Oh. So favorite moment so far this past football season?
Dancing in the locker room. Dancing in the locker room.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
What got you into it?
Reagan, she suggested it for me.
Good job.
Very good. A good recruiter. Good to know. So I like Brad's question earlier. What's your go-to, like your favorite thing to do as a trainer right now? Showing up with your girlfriends.
Yeah, I guess.
Right? Well, what do you do on Friday nights? What is your role?
I help set up the injury tent, and I help give out water at the water tank.
Do we do an injury tent, like the big thing where you come over yourself? That's so cool.
Yeah.
I wish we would have had that.
Yeah. People can't see. Oh, I saw your knee was crooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dislocated my shoulder doing a chest bump.
Yeah.
So there was that. So what on the flip side, like Brad asked, what's the area that you need to work on?
Probably taping. Ankle taping.
It can get a little crazy when everybody's trying to get out there late.
So do they have, Bowman, you have like a dummy to practice taping ankles on or anything like that?
Don't.
He points to all these dummies
They
sitting right
have
here.
names. No. That's funny. That's funny. So then, is there a field of study that you're interested in for college or anything like that down the road?
Not right now. No.
Perfect. One day at a time. I'm of that mentality as well. So any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Shout out to Kristen.
We got a shout-out, Brad. There we go. Good.
There we go.
All right. Well, we got to give Fiona a question since she's gotten not picked on, but
okay.
We've got to think of a good. Who's the best liar out of the group?
Probably Lucy.
That's a very diplomatic response.
Very good.
Name somebody who's not here. She's learning.
She's got 2 of the votes so far in the superlatives. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And your second sport right now is?
I'm doing softball with Kristen.
Perfect.
Okay. So there's 3 of you doing softball, huh?
2 of us.
2?
So what is your role doing during softball?
We're not sure yet because softball season hasn't started yet.
God, so what do you do during until then?
I'm in wrestling right now.
Yeah, the mat room is smelly.
What weight class do you wrestle at?
120.
You have the trainers meet in the middle of the dojo. That'd be
Wrestling
awesome.
is pretty cool.
Yeah,
wrestling is a fun sport.
That would be that should be the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
The trainers get after it. That's funny. Well, thank you so much for joining, Fiona. We do appreciate it. You going to be a trainer next year?
Yes.
All right, good. Again, that
Good
retention rate,
deal.
100% for Bowman right now. We
Yeah.
like that. All righty. So up next, Lauren, come on down. The price is right. All righty. So name and class.
Lauren Wicker, and I'm a freshman.
Whoa.
Wicker?
Henry Wicker?
Yeah.
What do you know?
Cool. So what inspired you to be a trainer?
I actually don't know. I wanted to do it since like
Wandered into the room one day and
7th grade. I don't know. Henry wanted to he encouraged me to do it.
Yeah.
Did he really? Well, good for him.
Is he a good big brother?
Sometimes he trips me a little.
That's the standard
Too
answer.
much.
That's acceptable.
Understand? Yeah, absolutely. So what has been your favorite moment this past season?
I don't know. I mean, meeting everybody. It's a good little community that we have.
Yeah.
Learning a craft. I know you're one of the girls that sets up the stuff because I see you often up in the press box. So how long did it take to learn what you've got to do for that job?
A while. It took Lucy, the other trainer, she helps me, and she knew how to do it from last year. So it took us both a learning curve on how to do it with just 2 people. So it took probably like a month.
And I mean, what's the time limit on you got to like get all that set up? Like 30 minutes?
We usually do it in like 30 to 45 minutes, but we have like an hour. But we just try to get on the field as soon as we can.
Right.
Yep. So what do you do down on the field then once you've done that?
I usually work water table during the games, so I run out trays for the players whenever the series comes off.
That's awesome. So let's think of a good one for the group. I like the group answers. We've got the tardy one. We've got the best singer, dancer, liar.
Yeah, we got to come up with another one.
Who's the brown noser?
Okay, there you go.
What's a brown noser?
Who's the one that might suck up to Bowman a little bit?
Definitely Reagan.
Oh, nice. Very good. Very good.
What's your best memory so far?
As like cliche as it sounds, I really like riding to practices with my brother. It's a lot of fun. We have the music bumping in the car.
Yeah?
And so he's a junior coming back?
He's a senior.
He's a senior this year, too?
Oh.
God, he did come on as a junior last year.
He sure did.
Now, he'll be severely missed.
So you liking this? You're going to come back for more of it?
Yeah.
Good deal. What are you thinking about? Again, you're a sophomore?
Freshman.
Have you given any thought to after high school what you're going to do?
I have absolutely no clue.
That's
a decent place to be.
You got plenty of time.
9th grade, yeah.
Hell, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do.
I'm still trying to figure out what he wants to do.
Yeah. God, see, Brad has known me for my entire 20s. We've been doing this together for 12 years now.
That's right. You were, 19 when you started?
Holy cow. And a mess. I was a mess. But that's okay. I'm still a mess. But a little bit more.
What I'm saying is you're a mess.
Right.
Is she a mess? No.
No.
She's not a mess. What's your favorite course there at Cedar Park?
I really like advanced geometry.
Advanced geometry.
Yeah. It's hard.
Is that 3D shapes?
I don't know. Triangles. Squares.
2D.
Yeah.
God.
You are one of, probably this year when we talk to the players too, you're one of probably, I would say, Josh, 16, 15, 17 people who've given a math course as their favorite course. That's more than any other year I can remember.
Yeah. Math is ridiculously hard.
I didn't like math for math's sake. I liked applied math. I didn't want to do a bunch of problems on a worksheet just to get the answers. But give me some real-world issue to, like navigate an airplane from Austin to Dallas. You got to use real-world trigonometry and all sorts of other. I loved that, solving problems, doing things, applied math. I hated sitting there taking a test or doing a worksheet.
Yeah, I hated.
Do you like even that though?
Yeah.
Real math heads like even just crunching the numbers for the sake of crunching the numbers.
I just didn't ever do it. I would always have to go to study hall.
He barely graduated.
Barely graduated. Whew. That's okay though. I made it. So any shout outs you'd like to give?
My family.
Shout out Wickers.
Got any other siblings besides him?
I have a stepsister. She's 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody said they didn't know that over there.
Look at you.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much for joining, and another coming back for next year.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, gonna be good.
Excellent stuff right there. I think that might wrap up. Is that everybody?
Is that everybody? Lauren, the last one?
Well, Coach Bowman, we'll have you back on real quick. Give your best sales pitch to anybody out there listening on the Timber Waves that might think they want to join the training staff. How can they get involved?
Well, most of the time you can just come by or go on our website type stuff and find those.
Just grab something and start working.
Yeah, I mean, we're always there.
Yeah.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week almost. So, but we're there. We're still working. So.
And so the early morning practice, is all that done with all the other sports? Did they do those?
Most of them start practice around 6. So. We get there in the morning, but the students don't have to do anything after football season. They only have to show up for games.
Oh, that's awesome.
We make it a little easier.
Well, more games throughout the week, too, in the other sports.
Yeah. Let us ask you this. I've wanted to ask you this for a long time. So you've been there the entire time the school's been open, just like me. What's the most squeamish injury you ever walked out onto the field for?
Oh. So I think, we've come out with, I guess, dislocated ankles. But the fun thing is when you can like we've had soccer players that dislocate their kneecaps.
Oh my gosh.
And nothing's funner than going out there and then all you have to do is straighten out their leg and it'll pop back in place. It's the reaction.
So you come across as a wizard.
So yeah, you walk out there, you put it back in place, and everybody else is starting to get
he's good,
queasy and want to get sick. But the best injuries, believe it or not, are at the middle school games.
Oh,
those
man.
are the ones that really have.
And we know you didn't mean best.
No, but if you ever, it's one of those. If you ever want to see interesting injuries, they're the ones that usually get the most. Surprising.
I'll tell you about my brother's injury. He's a freshman at high school at football practice, and he was an outside linebacker, and they're coming his way, and so he's kind of moving with the running back to close on him, and didn't see somebody coming this way, hit him. His right femur broke in half. He was laying on his back on the ground, and there goes his left leg, there goes his right leg, and it turns right there, and his right foot is next to the right side of his head.
That doesn't go there.
I'm glad I didn't see that.
We've had two of those at Cedar Park.
Holmes
was the one that was probably the worst.
And then Mac.
And then,
Mac
had his. So, I mean, I don't know if we're legally allowed to say that anymore. But
no, because you didn't describe the injury or say what it was. You said it was squeamish. So we're legal.
Letter of the law says we're good. So just thank you for all you've done for Cedar Park. It's definitely been there from the beginning. And who was your favorite Willard?
I'll go ahead and say it probably was you.
Thank you so much.
But it's also like saying which one's your favorite Alzer.
Yeah. See if Zach had asked him that, or if Brad had asked him that.
Don't write it off like that. I know. I touched your heart. I know I did. I know. I was just in the training room a lot. That's okay.
But we do have the policy of no celebration.
No chest bumps.
No chest bumps because of you.
You got to run up and double finger point. That's a legacy right there. That's a legacy.
You're a pioneer. You initiated policy.
Well, I dislocated my shoulder. Bowman pushes. All right, on 3. 1. Boom. I was like, oh. And then Shane Britton was the short snapper for field goals and extra points. It's like, hey, Shane, can't lift my arm. I'm going to need you to keep it low. And the very next snap, I had to stand up and grab it.
Oh, God.
It was awesome.
He was probably laughing while he was snapping the
Laces
ball.
out. Still got it down. Laces out. I'm just saying. But thank you so much for having everybody come out. Appreciate what you do for Cedar Park football. And it is
it's been fun.
I love getting on the fields during the first game of the year and seeing Bowman. It's like, all right, we're getting started.
It's real now.
That's right. And I'm sorry, Coach. We do have the better Bowman. We love our Bowman.
But you won the game.
I know.
We have to down to that until we win.
Bragging rights for a year.
Yes.
Yes.
It's been a while, so we'd like to have that back.
Yeah, we'll get it back.
Well,
I get better parking. I just get the name.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again for joining us. And Brad, any final words?
Just make sure all you'll stay around a little bit after we close out because we want to have a group picture.
Yes. Any final words on the season? I mean, it's
it was more than we thought it was going to be. Before we played Westlake in that scrimmage, we were thinking, oh man, and not a lot of running yards back, not a lot of receiving yards. What are we going to do? Lost a lot of defensive guys. We were looking at how are we going to get through this again. We were 4-7 the year before. Didn't look like it was going to be much better than that. Then they played Westlake and beat those guys. That's the last time those guys walked off the field. Not having won.
Right.
Was that scrimmage against us right as the season was starting. And when that happened, we thought, wait a minute, this team can do some things. And they did. 6-game winning streak. Had a winning record in non-district. Great finish to the season in the district play and a 3-week run in the playoffs. Heck of a deal. It was a good team.
It was a great team to watch, and just like the Isaiah Kings, Reed Vines, those names that were on varsity for many years, and sad to see their career come to an end like it did in the third round, but still a phenomenal season for this team. Of just kind of, I said everybody, even coaches, everybody took a step up from last year. It felt like,
yep.
And everybody just bought in. So just shout out to the senior class for giving us a really fun ride this year. And again, Brad Cohn not going to be joining us on the broadcast. He'll still feature on some Timberwolf Night in America.
Probably still come to this show, yeah.
Yeah, and then during halftime stats and things like that, we need to get your Excel spreadsheet, by the way. We haven't asked you about that.
That's true.
We're going to need that.
You'll need some training.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I probably should have paid attention for the last decade. But it's been a pleasure broadcasting these many years with you. I've learned so much about how truly great prep goes a long way. And you definitely have been a great role model for me. And I'm not going to do this right now. We're not going to do this right now. But just thank you so much, Brad, for everything that you've done.
Been my pleasure.
Absolutely. So signing off here for the final episode of Timberwolf Night in America, we want to thank this year's sponsors. I'm going to go ahead and get you guys muted down there. So thanks, Skylar, also hanging out as our QA, but we want to thank Alzer's Barbecue for being the host of this season's Timberwolf Night in America and always supplying that good cue. Also, Mungia Real Estate, Raising Cane's, Toscano Italian Kitchen, Rudy's Barbecue, Sewell, Reap Financial, I'm going to get them twice out of the way now, Firehouse Subs, Taco Palenque, and Army Ant Moving. Just thank you also to the Cedar Park Booster Club for getting this going for us and giving us the ability to bring you the games in the Timberwolf Night in America. But signing off, the Willard of Oz. We'll see you next year.